Raj. I'm back with another makeup video how to. This is actually going to be about foundation, and I don't really wear foundation often. It's obviously nice to be able to do it when you go out. So stay with me and I'll show you some tips, tricks, techniques, things to do. First off, what I like to start off with is a facial primer, and this is Revlon Beyond Natural. Let me see if I can get that in there. There we go. It's a little backwards, but we start with Revlon, and you just do like a pea-size amount, nice size. Rub it in your hands. Go ahead and cover the entire face. And don't forget your eyelids under the eye area. Okay. And because sometimes I have dark spots, little puffiness, unevenness here, and I have a couple marks like around, you see the darkness of my mouth. I'm really hairy, so there. And sometimes like I have a blemish. Get all the light, some right there. So things that I use a dampened sponge. I tend to take a square and break it because the roughness helps to give it a little texture and to make it, I guess, sink into the skin and get a lot more evenness to the application. I also use a concealer brush, and this one's a little dirty because I was playing in it earlier. Just a flat concealer brush so that I can actually do spot application. I also use a pressed powder to finish, and this one is like a Mary Kay mineral makeup powder. I prefer CoverGirl Clean. This is in Tawny, which is more of my fall complexion as opposed to my summer, because you tan, so you should have a different couple different colors. The other thing I have is a concealer palette. I actually will be selling these. As you can see, I've used them up on a couple different occasions. Okay, so first things first, what I tend to do is to actually go ahead and cover up any blemishes that I have. Like I said, I have this nice one here on my forehead, so I'll just go ahead and put a couple dabs there. I use my finger to kind of blend it out a little bit, and wherever the spot is, I put the most concentration and just take my finger and kind of dab around. I don't know if you all can see. Let's see if I can move this light up a little bit. That'll take the shininess off my forehead, but there. Then I just kind of focus on darker areas like under my eye. I'm just putting some there. And like I said, sometimes you have to use a couple different colors just to get the evenness. Now, if you have dark circles and things like that, it's best to use obviously a color that's about a shade or two lighter than your natural skin complexion currently is, whatever that is, because as I stated before, we're in transition. It's currently going from summer to fall, and you get a little lighter as the sun changes its position and all that other good astrological things that go on in the world. As you can see, it's a little lighter, and using the lighter color, if you see my eyelid has a little puffiness here, so just going right below or above, whichever way you I think above, where the line is, if I put my lighter shade there, then it will kind of just do like a trick on the eye where it makes it look like it's one even color because of just playing with the different placement and things like that. The other places that I have a little darkness is like there's a blemish on the tip of my nose here, so I'll go ahead there and put a little bit there and blend it out with my hand. I do around my nose because it tends to be darker there. As you can see, one side is done, the other side is not. And because I tend to go like this, and I've created like a little crease there, give you the pig nose, but I have like a line there. So if I'm really going to go ahead and full-fledged do foundation, I'll go ahead and cover that with a concealer, excuse me. And as you can see, it's starting to look a little different, a little even. So I'll go ahead and do the same thing on this side. The other thing I want to say, before you apply your foundation or whatever you're applying to your skin, make sure you wash your skin really well to get rid of any debris and things like that. because it doesn't help to lay the makeup on top of dirt, essentially. So you'll create more of a problem than you are a solution. The other areas, and just bring the light down a little bit. Okay. Is around my mouth. Licking your lips. If you're like me and you're hairy, you remove the hair. So you have sometimes a little space for me, the waxing or shaving, whatever you choose to do, depilatory, anything like that. And just the shadow from your nose can even, because my nose is a little pointy, can create that look. So just go ahead and just paint a little bit under my nose, around the corners of my mouth. As a woman of color, we tend to have darker corners on our lips, so just go there. I think it's from licking our lips and things like that. I know my mouth is extremely dry now. Yeah, just because I haven't been drinking enough water. My skin is really dry and ashy looking. Hopefully it'll come through properly in this video, and then I'll go get me a couple glasses of water after. So I'm just, any places that I have blemishes, I'm just patting it on, and then I'll take my finger and dot it around just to buffer the edges, because when I go to put the foundation on over top of it, I don't want too much of it to just like lay, and then you have a big blob and it looks uneven and unnatural. I do not like cake face. You'll see a lot of people with a lot of foundation on. I think if you conceal properly, I'm just checking to make sure I got everything. If you conceal your face properly, you don't need a lot of foundation. Get questions about using tinted moisturizers versus a foundation versus the type of coverage. It really depends on your skin, your texture, the things that you currently use on your skin. What I did was just put the foundation on the back of my hand. You can see there. And I have my sponge. Just to give a heads up, you can create your own tinted moisturizer if you just want a really light coverage just to even out your skin tone. Just mix it in with some lotion. Make sure that it's a water-based foundation as opposed to an oil-based foundation, because then you'll create oil and water don't really mix too well. So I'll just go ahead and blot this on like so. I usually start under my eye because that's kind of where I care about it being the most even, just because it can look a little off. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply. And the stippling, just as you pat it, lifting it, go around. You can hear the dog snoring in the background. That's what that noise is. The other thing about dampening the sponge, a lot of people use a lot of different methods and techniques to put on foundation. I find that the sponge gives me the most natural coverage. When you dampen the sponge, it actually stops the makeup from being absorbed into the sponge, and you get more of the product on your face as opposed to soaking in the sponge. Using a brush, I feel like I get streaks sometimes. I will go in and buffer with a brush though, because I feel like it does need that extra, just to get it settled in, just to kind of any blotches or blemishes. When you're applying the foundation, make sure you go back to your ear. If it's that drastic off, your ear is a good place to be able to see if you're actually matching color as well as your neck. If you're like me, you have a darker neck sometimes. But your ear is a good place to go. So go ahead and buffer that on, and then I'm going to just use like a powder buffing flat brush and just go ahead and buff that in. Make sure you get your eyelids, because there's nothing worse when you go to put on eyeshadow and you don't put the foundation all the way on your eyelid and it's a different color. So just make sure you do that too. I don't know if that looks any different to you all, but it does to me. Now I'll do a separate video at some point about contouring and things like that. Right now I just wanted to get basic foundation on my face. The next thing is just to go ahead and with the powder, and why I like the powder just to set the foundation, just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And some people use a translucent powder. I tend to like one that has a little bit of a pigment to it, and I just go ahead and brush it a couple places and just blend it in. and that gives it a nice finish. It gives it an even color. um, and there we go. I don't know if I look that different to you all. To me, I see a difference here, obviously under my eye, things like that. Um, and I keep licking my lips because, like I said, I need to drink some water. There we go. And I don't know if y'all can see that, how that works for you all. And obviously, my hair needs to be done. But what do you do? So there is my foundation routine in a couple minutes. And thank you all for watching. Please subscribe. It should be over there, and they may have moved it over there somewhere. I'm trying to get my finger in the shot. And again, this is Mirage. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, concerns, recommendations, anything like that, please feel free to let me know. Bye, ladies and gents.